Hello, my name is David, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to apply for the Google Ad Grant. As the owner of a Google Ad Grant management company, I've talked to many nonprofit organizers, leaders, and founders, and they've all told me the same thing. Applying for the Google Ad Grant is a nightmare. That's why I've created this video to help you apply in as painless a way as possible. Before we begin, I've put every resource and link to websites discussed in this video in the description below. In this video, we'll be following this flowchart to easily visualize the entire process so you understand exactly what your current step is and what the next steps in the process will be. I just want to tell you that I truly believe that the Google Ad Grant is one of the most powerful and underutilized tools for growing your nonprofit organization. The time it takes to apply for the grant is well worth it, especially as a small or medium-sized nonprofit. So let us begin. This is the Google Ad Grant application for flowchart. You can find this in the description below. We're going to be starting on step 0, assuming that you have not created your Google for Nonprofit account. If you have already, or if you've already completed a few steps, you can skip forward in this video. I will try and label each time section in this video so you can scroll through to different parts, and feel free to scroll back if you need to rewind or rewatch a section. The first question is about the eligibility of your nonprofit to receive the grant. So I'm going to ask you this question. Is your nonprofit a school, academic institution, university, healthcare or hospital, a government entity, or government organization? If your nonprofit is any one of those things, you are not eligible for the Google Ad Grant, unfortunately. You're going to want to check your country's specific eligibility criteria. That can be found here. So on this webpage, you can see your country's specific eligibility criteria. Each country has slightly different criteria. In Greece, you can see you have to apply with TechSoup, and you have to be recognized by relevant authorities, public benefit foundation. It's different in every one, but fairly similar. Moving back to the flowchart, make sure before you move on that you are eligible so you don't waste any time. Once you confirm that you do meet your country's criteria, move forward. Next step will be applying for the Google for Nonprofits program and TechSoup. Now, before you start this, you'll want to have the following information: your IRS number, your tax number, your 501c3 registration number, or alternative based on your country, and then the determination letter provided to you by the IRS, or your country's equivalent incorporation documents. You will want the most original documents you have, and this will be to confirm that you are indeed a representative of the nonprofit you claim to be. So once you have all of that on hand, you will head over to the Google for Nonprofits hub, which is here. Click Get Started. Then you will follow a simple process. You will confirm to Google some information about your charity. You will wait about 10 business days, and then you will have to get your TechSoup registration token. Again, you just follow the process you see here. Click Continue, Next, etc., etc. You just follow this process and you will be taken through. Once you apply for Google for Nonprofits, then you go to TechSoup. Once you apply for TechSoup, you just confirm everything, and then you're set. It should be pretty straightforward. After that, you'll want to make sure that you meet the website eligibility criteria. So I have created a checklist resource that you can download here, and you can mark off each task as you complete them. So, does your website have up-to-date content? Does your website have substantial high-quality content? Is the navigation of your website easy to use, etc., etc.? And this will go over every single eligibility criteria that Google lists on their website in a much easier to understand way. Provided, let's see, here on my website is a detailed step-by-step guide that goes into significantly more depth than either the checklist or Google's own eligibility documents. I also will have linked a separate video on what the website eligibility criteria is and how to make your website eligible for the Google Ad Grant program. You will want to check that video in the description before you apply, or if you do apply and you are rejected. So please consult the eligibility checklist. After you have made all of the required changes, you're going to want to apply for the Google Ad Grants program. And this can be found on your Google for Nonprofits dashboard, which you will have gained access to once you complete your Google for Nonprofits and TechSoup applications. So that will look a little something like this. Simply click Get Started, and you will be taken to the Ad Grants eligibility page. There's this checklist, or not a checklist, there is this form that you will have to complete. Simply answer a few questions about your nonprofit's operation, some of the same things that you've entered before, your registration number, tax number, charity identification number, etc., etc. After you complete that, the Google representatives will take a look at your website to make sure that you do meet the eligibility requirements. They'll make sure that everything you're doing is above board, and they will either approve or deny you. If they deny you, they will usually list the reasons why. It's not super specific, the reasons they give, but if you take a look at this detailed step-by-step guide available on my website and in the description below, you will be able to see, oh, like if they denied me because my website load speeds, you'll be able to see how to identify and fix those problems on your website. So if you are approved, congratulations. You now have access to your $10,000 per month Google Ad Grant. Next, you just want to set up conversion tracking, Google Analytics 4, and start creating ad campaigns. Thank you very much for watching this video. I do want to remind you that we give free consultations to nonprofits for applying for the ad grant. So if you would like an extra hand applying for the grant or on any of these steps, including getting your website up to speed to meet the eligibility criteria, please click the link in the description, book your meeting before the offer ends. Thank you very much, and leave any comments, questions in the comments below. Last thing, if you can share the video, very few nonprofits actually know about the Google Ad Grant. I hope this can be a resource to help as many nonprofits as possible apply for the grant and make use of everything they have to grow their organizations and help people. Thank you very much. My name is David, and bye-bye.